Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what is a beautifully warm but overcast morning here on the allotment. Sit back, relax and enjoy today's show. Well, here I am by the side of my frame that I got all for free and no to pay. It's fantastic, and well, I should be using this from now on. I've started at the top and I've got some lettuce at this side, I've got some radish at this side, and right across the front I've put some chard, although it's a bit small for chard because they grow quite big. So I've got plenty left and we're putting those in the other growing frames, and they'll be protected, of course. Now, radish. It's a lovely word, radishes, and I've not grown these before. I'm taking a leaf out of Saffron and Barnaby's book down there in Glastonbury, because you always grow radish, and you've sent some marvellous pictures in the past, so I'm going to have a go. They're really simple. These have really shot up, and what's magnificent about radishes, they don't need much space. They need, believe it or not, about a finger size width at 1 centimetre between each of the plants that you put in. So they don't need at all any space, and they don't need much depth either, because they tend to grow on the surface. So isn't that fantastic? Lovely radish, fantastic cut and grow lettuce. They've been taken out of the big tray that I had and thinned down a little bit, and now they'll take this. This is pure compost out of my compost heap, so I'm hoping that this will work really well, and it seems to be. The plants really seem at the moment to be thriving on it. There's plenty of good sustenance inside of the compost, of course, and well, fingers crossed that in the next 2 rows we can do the same thing. My lovely well, I think it's a raspberry bush, not quite sure. This was, of course, and I don't know what that is, some sort of cabbage, but it's been eaten, I think. It looks purple, so it could of course be one of my sprouts. However, I don't know how that has got into my lovely raspberry bush. I think this needs planting on, although these stems are really spiky. I'm sat here inside my covered greenhouse, and what's wonderful about this is I'm going to start having lots and lots of more things in, and I'm glad it's covered because it stopped the cherry flowers off the tree coming onto this plot. However, what is happening in here, I've noticed, I'm still having slugs, and I couldn't work out where they're coming from until I decided to lift the cardboard sleeves that are around my Romanesco well, cauliflowers, broccoli, whatever we decide to call them, anyway, those, and they're all hiding underneath. So I picked them all off this morning because, of course, they do like dark, damp places, do slugs. So that's phase 1, and I'd like to thank Hannah from Sheffield for sending me lots and lots of tips as to how your mum gets rid of the slugs on her plots, and she's got quite a big acreage of land attached to the house, and she uses different methods. So over the next few weeks, Hannah, we're going to look at those methods, and I know one involves using beer, but well, they get drunk and have a happy time. So now over to this side, and I've got my peas growing. Now these were the dwarf pea variety. I've never grown them before. Unfortunately, they don't seem to be very strong, and so I've had to put like a netting up. This is a plastic netting. I was given this actually, and it's quite good. So I put 2 stakes in, popped it down, and I've actually tied the peas onto here with some very loose, like a Velcro special one for plants. So it's brilliant, and they're coming to pod, and we've got some pods coming, so fingers crossed we'll get a few peas off them in the next few weeks, which is rather lovely. I'm also sat here next to an old cabbage plant, and it was just left in the ground, but what's happened is, as you can see, it started to flower beautifully, and I've left it for this because free seeds for next season, so I can collect the seeds once the flowers have gone, and hopefully I won't have to buy any more red cabbage seeds for next year. Isn't that brilliant stuff? Well, before I go here, I just thought I'd show you. I've netted my strawberries, and I've had to do that because the strawberries are coming on rather beautifully, but I don't want the birds that are around about to have my strawberries before I get them, because I want to dip them in cream, because they taste absolutely delicious when you've grown your own. So you may have noticed today that I've been using double cameras. I've had a distant one and a close-up one, and it's something I used to do when I first started actually, but I thought I'd resurrect it, and it's really simple. It's just 2 phones obviously with the cameras running at the same time. The main volume comes through the main camera here, and the one in the distance, well, it just picks up my gestures, and so I can try and get them both together. Before I start the filming though, I do a massive big clap. It sends a huge signal down, so when I'm looking at the video on the program, there's a spike. In audio, I can link the two spikes together, and that'll synchronize the two videos. So I'm working with this one, and I'm working, hopefully, if the battery hasn't run out, with the one over there, which is wobbling at the moment, so you might have a wobbly picture. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures, and I'll see you here next time on the Yorkshire Allotment. Ta-ra for now.